Story 1, AITA for telling my daughter-in-law OMG, not everything is about you when she got emotional over a cat. I have had ongoing issues with my daughter-in-law 33F. She tends to make a lot of situations about her, even when it doesn't seem appropriate. Really, she is very sensitive and it happens almost every even. My son 35M and she have been married for 5 years, and while I've tried to get along with her, this habit is becoming harder to deal with. Recently, during a family gathering, we were talking about our old family cat. This cat has been dead for 12 years. She has never met this cat and I don't even think she has seen a picture of her. The conversation was lighthearted, with us sharing fond memories of the cat, mostly about how dumb she was. She was an orange cat and had a single brain cell. Out of nowhere, my Dill started crying and talking about how sad it was that the car is dead. She got really emotional, and the whole conversation shifted to comforting her. People were either trying to get her to calm down and standing around confused and uncomfortable. This has happened before and multiple people have brought it up. Usually she ends up crying and my son is very overprotective of her at this point. I think she has cried at almost every event. In the moment, I was frustrated and said, OMG, not everything is about you, you didn't even know the cat. My son immediately got defensive and told me I was being insensitive and she started crying harder, and now both of them are upset with me. My son think I was a jerk and need to apologize. AITA for saying that when she got emotional over a cat? Reasonable ad 3605 says, NTA. Part of being an adult is learning how to control your emotions. Yes, cats dying is sad, but her response is not appropriate. Hung White Boy 25 says, a 33-year-old woman started hysterically crying over a cat that died over a decade ago who she never met. Up your NTA, but like ISIS still okay. Like this isn't normal behavior. Mermses says, update. A few comments below have suggested the possibility that the girl might have a mood disorder, or just be overly empathetic, and it's not based on attention or jealousy. So before you go all scorched earth on this girl, please present a few more facets of her personality. Does she love your son with grace and honesty and kindness? Does she treat others around her with respect and happiness? If so, maybe you've got an empathetic daughter-in-law. NTA. But you need to see her behavior for what it is. It's called emotional manipulation, and she has your son wrapped up tight. She likes his attention, probably everyone's attention, and she's learned that when she is upset, she can get all of the attention shifted to her. I'd start practicing some version of ignoring, exiting the situation. Like, she bursts out crying about the cat, and everyone stops talking and looks at her. If it was just the three of you, Dill, son, I'd just get up and exit the room. If it was a full family group, I'd probably say something like, oh dear. You seem extremely upset about this. We're going to head into the kitchen for a moment and give you a little bit of space. If you talk directly to your son about his wife's behavior, chances are he's going to push back and get angry and say that you're the one manipulating. It's because he enjoys feeling like the protector of her, and she enjoys having his attention in this way. I shudder to imagine them with children. Babies are cute and take a ton of attention away from grown-ups. Your Dill is not going to like that. Story 2, AITA for leaving my boyfriend at a wedding I wasn't originally invited to. My boyfriend is a groomsman at a wedding this weekend. He told me I was invited, so I was excited to finally meet his friends, but for some reason I had this gut feeling I wasn't. I'm not sure why, maybe his responses and reactions when I asked, but I asked him to double check to see if I was actually invited and he refused until 1 week prior to the wedding. Come to find out that I indeed was not invited, but they were going to figure it out. At that point I was sincerely okay not going, as I understand budgets for weddings, and it was the week prior. They figured out my spot and I was going to take someone's spot who could no longer go. I was uncomfortable and embarrassed, but I didn't want to say no because they really put in the effort. Well, today is the rehearsal dinner and I was making the hour drive and needed to get ready at the Airbnb. I never got the address after asking numerous times until 130, and when I arrived my boyfriend told me I had 15 minutes to get ready. I was furious at the lack of respect yet again, and he said suck it up and get over it and go inside and get ready. I asked who's inside and he said a bunch of his friends I haven't met yet. I was in tears due to the lack of empathy and compassion. I ended up leaving because I didn't feel welcomed in the first place and definitely not welcomed after that. AITA for leaving? Metal Muffin Reborn says, NTA, that's all clear cut, you aren't really welcome here behavior and you had a right to be upset. Firebalksel says, sweetheart, I think he is using you. That is not the behavior of a loving partner. The way you felt is legitimate because no one should be spoken to that way in that situation. Read these comments, you think they are right. He did not want you there. Hold your head up and extricate yourself from this relationship. You are so much more valuable than he is treating you. Delulu 4 Drama says, NTA. Always follow your gut. He is extending no empathy or compassion to you. The situation seems very disrespectful. Sorry girl, thanks for watching, I love you. Follow Reddit Echoes for more.